from another. Joel Embiid, I mean, he's recovering from an emergency procedure. Can Philly overcome this loss? Now, I'm just going to start by reminding everybody I have worked with the Sixers for most of my career, about 18 years as an in-arena host. So I do have a little bias going on for Philly. I'm from Philadelphia, but I'm not going to talk too much about Philly today. I'm going to let y'all talk about Philly because you know how I feel about it. Can they get this done without Joel?
No, there's no way.
Just dang,
yeah, I'm going straight to it.
Just got right to it.
There's no way. There's no way at all. And Philly was one of the teams I always said if they were healthy, as they were the last couple weeks before, Embiid's dealing with what he's dealing with, like a team doesn't want to play them in the playoffs full strength. But with Embiid out, with the head of the snake out, it's tough. It's going to be very tough. It's not over, but it is. I'm sorry.
You don't think the one game setup gives them any sense of an advantage?
Oh, they can win. They can win that game. I'm talking about going on in the future to the playoffs. They can definitely win that game, and the Magic haven't been playing as well, so I wouldn't put it past them winning that game.
I mean, looking back at the Philadelphia 76ers season and seeing where they are now, Skylar, just what do the Sixers need to do to just improve overall team?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, like you said, losing the big man in the middle makes it hard for any matchup. You have to have that prominent big play to be able to play off of. I think they have it in the guards. Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe had a great year. He'll be on the all-rookie team, no doubt. And so promising pieces for the future, just continuing to round out their roster. And obviously the health of Joel Embiid, always seems to come into play when we're talking about the potential of this team.
Yeah, that's the number one thing, because when they are healthy, down the line, they're one of the best teams in the league, for sure. And I always felt that way. It's just anytime somebody comes back, somebody gets hurt again. And it's unfortunate for the Philadelphia 76ers.
I mean, Philly plays the best with a chip on their shoulder. Joel out, Tyrese coming, BJ.
Paul George, too, we're forgetting about. They got action.
I didn't forget about it.
They got action at this game. I was talking about anything further than that.
Tough road to head for anything after this.
Okay, so who would you say is one of the most dangerous playing teams on the East? If you're not going with the Sixers, who you going?
I would say the Hornets.
Yeah.
Hornets been playing the second half of the season since the All-Star break. The Hornets been playing high-level basketball, and that would be a scary team to play because when they do play really well, they get up and down, they move the ball. LaMelo Ball is must-see TV, and it's a perfect situation for a team. Look at that. It's a perfect situation for a team that, has no fear in playing anybody. And it is a scary matchup for sure.
I have to piggyback off of that, 100% what he said. I mean, and just the three-point shooting, the way they've been shooting the ball. Khan and Melo shooting the basketball is something like we've never seen before from a backcourt. And so that ability to score in bunches. And like IT said, they don't know what they don't know. So first postseason experience for a lot of those players. And that's not a bad thing sometimes.
Also, the first time in play-in tournament history, I believe, we have a do or die first up with Charlotte versus the Heat, which is going to be really interesting to watch. So that's going to be exciting. We talked about the East. What about the West? Who's most dangerous on the West? And we kind of covered that already, but any honorable mentions, any other teams you think we might not be paying attention to that we might see be a real big threat?
I always like Minnesota, but I do think Minnesota is like compared to the Knicks in the East, like when they play. My bad. My bad on that.
Oh, you good?
No. My fault on that. I like for the play in Phoenix. Phoenix been playing really well all season long. And when they're healthy, you got to give a shout out to their coach. Coach Jordan Ott has been doing a hell of a job all year long, especially losing a guy like Kevin Durant. They probably thought they were in somewhat of a rebuild stage, and they've been proving, the teams wrong all year.
We got the Suns, Blazers, we got the Warriors, Clippers. Any team coming to mind for you, Skylar?
Yeah, I like to say the Suns as well, but the Warriors, they're a dangerous team that can create matchup problems for everybody. You just really don't know what to expect from that team, so you can't count them out. But yeah, the Suns play. But obviously we know what Steph Curry brings to the table, dangerous at every level, just out there. That's another creative player we could talk about. But, I don't care. As long as they have this man on the floor, they have a possibility. And so, I know a lot of people like the Clippers' chance, but this is a team that I'm going to talk about always, as long as they have that man right there.
Looking at this play-in tournament, is there any matchup that you guys are most excited just to watch in general because it's going to be heated back and forth?
I mean, this Warriors-Clippers. Like, any time where the game is on the line, and you got a guy like Steph Curry out there, you got Kawhi Leonard, they're going to be battling. And then with a healthy Steph Curry, like Skylar said, you never know what can happen. Like, you never know what can happen with a guy like that on the floor. So I'm excited to see the Warriors.
And sometimes in a 7-8, you kind of know, I got another game, possibly lose this one, have another chance, And the 9-10 matchups is what I'm going to be looking at. Like you said, the do or die games, the one that you got to win or go home. And so a little bit of tournament, style feel to it, and that's why we love to play in tournament.
Well, don't worry, Sixers. I haven't given up on you guys yet. I'll be tuning in. All right, coming up on the Association Playoff Review Special are the Pistons. Crawford for the voiceover on that. That just gave me a little bit of chills.
Ooh, that was.
Hey, man, OKC, they still look good. The defending champions looking to run it back. What do you think it's going to take to dethrone these guys? I mean, what I love about these guys the most is they're legit.
Yeah.
They've done this. They've proven themselves, and they're still the best. Still at the top of that seat at number 1. What do you guys think about this team? What's it going to take?
I think it's going to be tough to dethrone them. Like, they're the defending champions for a reason. They've been the favorite all year long. I think the best thing that I've seen with this group is they've had no panic. Like, no matter if they've been through injuries, no matter if they've gone on a couple-game losing streak, no matter what's been thrown at them, they haven't panicked, and that comes from the championship experience. They're not my favorite, but they are the team to beat, obviously, because they're the defending champions.
I want to ask you about that, but we're going to talk about that a little later. I can't believe you just said that out of your mouth, though, IT.
You just threw that out there.
I had to just...
You just had to come in hot this Monday, huh?
I had to.
Skylar, talk about this team. I mean, when you look at this team, what I like most about them is even in imperfect games, when they're struggling, they find a way to get the job done. What's going to be so hard about beating them in a series?
Well, I mean, they have the engagement. You see, when you have the engagement, the buy-in from the players, through injuries, we're able to develop other bench players, key pieces for their run. Not SGA not having his backcourt mate for a long part of the season, and being able to integrate him right back into the fold just shows the engagement there that, Mark Daigneault has been able to have in this team. It seems like the leadership is about action and not position with this team. It can come from any other players. And so with their efficiency on both sides of the basketball, it's hard for any one team to say, okay, they match up well with them or they can beat them. But if I had to pick, I'm going to be picking the number 2 out west to be able to beat them. And so it's the matchup there. IT and I were talking about the bodies there, and I think he likes that too. But it's just hard to say. I think it's definitely them versus the field, though.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they're the favorite for sure. But like I said, there's one team over there in the West that matches up.
Okay, come on, IT. Let's talk about it. Who are some of the biggest challenges for OKC?
I would say the Spurs are the biggest challenge. They've had their success against the Thunder, but also we can't forget about the Denver Nuggets. Like, that's a team that's like really scary, especially to their peers and to other teams. And as they are getting healthy, like, they're a scary team. But the Spurs with Wemby, which we've never seen a player like him before, it's hard to put anything past those guys. And they're young, they're active, and they're just as good as the Thunder.
I mean, you both are basketball greats. From a basketball mind, when you're playing against a team with 64 wins, what exactly do you need to do to attack this team? Like, what is the strategy? What do you think the best bet is against a team like OKC?
Yeah, for me, well, it's going to be defensively and their ability to get to the free throw line, their ability to draw fouls. And then on the other side, it's going to come to half-court execution, I think, especially for a young team like a Spurs. If we're talking about specifically that matchup, it's going to come down to half-court execution.
And I piggyback that. The Spurs are my favorite, but we haven't seen them go through any adversity. Right. This team hasn't really been in the playoffs where they had to go through the trenches like OKC has. So there's a lot to think about when you say the Spurs are the favorite, but man, they're special.
Yeah, and you can't forget about the teams out east, too. You have teams that aren't talked about as much, like the Detroit Pistons, and you have another team like the Boston Celtics, who I don't know who wants to play them right now or match up with them. And so it is a lot of people that could challenge it, but we're not just talking about one game, we're talking about through a duration of a series.
Right, we did cover the West. You just mentioned 2 teams on the East being the Detroit Pistons, who I have absolutely loved this entire year. But the Boston Celtics seem to get talked about more as a threat. Are there any other teams on the East that you think has a shot against a team like OKC? Right, T?
I would say Cleveland. I think Cleveland's another one of those teams where you don't really want to match up with them in the playoffs, and then them acquiring a guy like James Harden, who, like Skylar said early in the show, he has playoff experience. He knows how to win playoff games, and I think that's what they wanted with making that trade. So you can't put anything past those guys, but I think Boston is the favorite out east. Even though Detroit's had the best seasons out east, Boston has that championship experience. Jason Tatum seems like he's getting his rhythm back. And they're definitely a scary team out east if you got them in a playoff series.
I have to agree with that one. I mean, didn't expect that, I'm sure, to start the season. You know, Joe Mazzulla, his ability to develop key rotational players in the mix, too. And Jason Tatum's unexpected return and how he's playing has been amazing and something to be talked about. And so I agree between that and the playoff experience there. You know, we'll see how it fares out, but it should be fun.
I'm just a little surprised that nobody mentioned anything about the New York Knicks. Are we not feeling the Knicks on the East? She said,
I like the Knicks, but yeah, they're a little too inconsistent for me.
Okay.
Like when they play, when they're good, they're really good, but when they're not so good, they don't even look like a playoff.
Don't go too far down that road because we're going to talk more about the playing team shortly on the East especially. But here is the SoFi playing schedule on Tuesday at 7:30